Hello, I'm Duke Castle with the Lake Oswego Sustainability Network. In the past couple of years, we've had electric vehicle ride and drives when you've actually been able to get into a vehicle, find out what it's like, and drive it. Well, we can't do that with the pandemic right now. So instead, we're going to give you an opportunity for a virtual ride and drive. And today, we're going to use our Tesla Model 3. What all these cars do, and certainly the Tesla, is you use your phone to operate it. It's what opens the car up. You can set the heating on a cold day before you get in the car. And what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to summon the car out of the garage. And go over it and then take a ride and drive. You can see the Tesla's very cautious, as it should be. And you can program this as to how far you want the car to go out. What's unique about electric vehicles is the motor's on the wheels. There's no engine up front. So what we have instead is something that's called a trunk, which is a storage space up in the very front. And here, what we're doing is we're storing emergency supplies if we happen to need these. But as I say, everything else is controlled by the phone. Just walking up to the car, we'll unlock it. As soon as I get in, it knows what my seat settings are. Let's get out and start to take a drive. And the car is on just because the phone is here. It's the phone that's activated it. The car's in park. When I want to put it in drive or reverse, I put my foot on the brake, push this up. I'm now in reverse. My rear camera's on. Start to back up. One of the things you notice right away is this is really quiet. A really quiet car. Push it down, I'm in drive now. And again, I'm moving forward. So the quietness, the comfortableness of the car. And these cars are quick, they're fast. So 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. One of the questions that comes up right away, though, is, wait a second, these cars are really expensive, aren't they just for rich people? And Tesla has, made that impression because when its first version car came out, the Model S, it did sell for $70,000, $80,000. However, the Model 3 starts at $35,000, and with Oregon Oregon rebates, you can get at least $2,500 off that. And if your income in Lake Oswego's under $90,000, you'll get another $2,500. So you can get $5,000 off of that, which makes it more affordable. The other thing, though, is the operating costs. The cost of electricity turns out to be about 3 cents a mile. You compare that to gasoline, which varies, but could be 8, 10, 12 cents a mile. Your cost for energy to run it is 70% less. And the electricity we're using from Pacific Gas and Electric is 40% renewable now and will be working towards 100% within the next decade or so. And there's virtually no maintenance on this car. There's no spark plugs, there's no oil, there's no I was going to say batteries. There are obviously batteries. But the only maintenance you really have is just rotating the tires every so often. So the overall cost of operating this car is substantially less than your gasoline car. And the other nice thing is it doesn't pollute. as I said, the renewable energy is moving up to 100%. And right now, vehicles, gas vehicles, contribute to 58,000 premature deaths in the U.S. every year. That's 60% higher than the number of people that are actually killed in automobiles. So it doesn't pollute, and the car is actually incredibly safe. This Model 3 got the highest ratings from the National Transit Safety Organization and from the Insurance Institute. And in fact, the probability of being hurt in this car is the lowest of any car on the market right now. So the car is fun, it's fast, it's safe, it's economical, and it's really a pleasure to drive. And as I said, some people would be concerned about the screens, but actually I can see I'm at 29 miles per hour. It's just a little bit off to the right here instead of a little bit up above. And one of the things that Tesla does is they update the features of the car continually through software updates. So one thing they've added is voice control on this. So I could say, turn on the air conditioner, or turn on the air conditioning. So let's try that. Turn on the air conditioning. And the little sign comes down and says enabling air conditioning. Set the fan to 9. Set fan speed to 9. Maybe you can hear that. Turn air conditioning off. Or I could say, call Jan Castle. Because my phone is hooked up on this. Her phone numbers come up, her mobile and home number, and I could go ahead and call her. I'm not going to do that right now. But the ability to have these phone features is really a nice attribute. Move it up and then press the start button. And so now the car is going to park itself. And it's pretty cautious. And so I normally don't do this if there's anybody waiting, because this can take a little bit of time. Moving. We can see right here as it moves in. Auto park complete. There we are. Really a nice little feature of the Tesla. One feature of Tesla in all their models is something called autopilot. It's semi-autonomous driving. You activate it by pushing the lever down twice. And what it does is it sees the lanes here and keeps the car centered. And as the lanes turn, so will the car. I'm going to set the speed back to 70. There's another part of it that they've added called Navigate on autopilot. So let me activate that. Navigate to new seasons in Tualatin. So now the Navigate on autopilot comes on. What that's doing is not only are we on autopilot, but the car now knows where we're going to turn off. And it'll make the right turn up here on I-5 going north, and it'll get off at the exit that we need to get off at. And you may have noticed a little black bar came up, told me just to touch the wheel. Every so often, about roughly every 40 seconds, it comes up and says that. And the idea is, make sure that you're still here and you're alert. If for some reason I ignore that or I forget about it, you'll see a blue light come up here, and if I continue to forget about it, a sound comes up that gets even louder. We can see right here, apply slight turning wheel, here's the blue. I'm going to just wait a little bit for the sound to come up. And in the meantime, the car is going to make this turn. Okay, touch the wheel. Okay, we're now making the turn. And because we're on a curve, it's reduced the speed. It says now the maximum speed would be 60. Four-tenths of a mile until the exit. And the blue here indicates that the car knows that it needs to get off at that point. If it didn't, it would be black, and that would tell me I would have to do it. But because we're on Navigate and Autopilot, it's going to do it on its own. And the speed went up to 65 max. Well, one of the really nice things about the Tesla is its whole charging system. There are thousands of chargers all over the country, and it's really easy. You just take your phone, open up the charging point right here, take this, plug it in. And this is a high-speed charger, so it'll be just minutes, but while the system's being charged up, you don't have to do anything. Tesla has your credit card on file, so it knows exactly who you are and what this is going to cost. So right now, it says it'll be about 30 minutes to get up to about a 90% charge. Another feature while we're waiting is the Tesla entertainment system. We've got Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, so we could be watching movies while the car is charging up. Or there's a whole arcade of games, including chess, backgammon, and a bunch of games that I've never seen. Couldn't be easier. One feature that I didn't mention earlier is something called regenerative braking. And what that means is that when you take your foot off the accelerator, the motors will recharge the battery and slow the car down. A number of cars use that for what they call one-pedal driving. And I'm doing it right here. I'm just going to take my foot off. I don't even put my foot on the brake. When I want to slow down, I take my foot off the brake, and it starts to recharge the battery. And if you time it right, after a while you get a feeling for it. You know about what point to start to do that so that you end up just totally stopping. We're back home. Let's finish this by just talking about charging. Tesla does provide a cable to help you charge your car. And it has attachments for both 110 volts, which is what you have in your home. You can just plug it in. But with longer range cars, you'll really want to use a higher voltage, the 220 or 240 that you probably already have in your house with your washing machine. So you can have an electrician come in and install it in your garage and use this plug, and you're actually fine. For us though, we installed a Tesla charger, and part of the reason was that it charges 50% faster. So it charges about 40 miles an hour. Come over here, just push this button, opens up, stick it in. We're ready to charge. And at 40 miles an hour, you know, we could be charged in just 5 or 6 hours, depending on how long. And the other nice thing is we can set this for any time of the day. So when electricity rates are lower at night, we can set it for that. So basically, that's our event. Thank you so much for coming with us. We hope to see you at a future Lake Oswego Network Ride and Drive.